Go.
So, good evening everybody. Tonight we're going to be doing meta programs. So this is meta programs 1, after that we'll have meta programs 2 and meta programs 3. So that's given you the big picture of what we're going to be covering, which is one of the meta programs. So some people will tend to sort for the big picture. They don't want to know any of the detail, they just want to know, give me the conclusion. Give me the facts, don't give me all the details. Other people will want to know all the detail. So they'll want to know in the first 5 minutes of this evening, we're going to be covering the first meta program. And in the second 5 minutes, we're going to be covering the second meta program. In the third 5 minutes, we're going to be covering the third meta program. Then the 16th minute, we're going to be getting really specifically into the fourth meta program from the left. And in the 16th minute and 30 seconds, we're going to be getting to the meta program next to the fourth meta program from the left. That's much more detailed information that I'm giving you. Some people are very referenced to themselves, so they're internally referenced. So I'm going to spend the next half an hour telling you about the second meta program next to the left, next to the second meta program next to the left, next to the second meta program to the left. Even though I haven't really got a lot of attention from any of you, because I'm just going by what's my interest. However, if I would say to you, sex, drugs and rock and roll...
Done that.
You've done all that?
Yes, please.
That would be another reference. I would then be referencing it to you just to get a response from you. So there's a difference between myself and other reference. There's also a difference between people who move towards things and people who have more of a tendency to move away from them. And once you've set these meta programs or had them established within your experience, you will tend to use them to sort information. I was doing a workshop the other day, and it was really evident that some of the people in the room really wanted all the detail and some of them just wanted the big picture. And whenever I got really into detail, the big picture people were going, just give us the big picture. And when I got to the big picture, the detail people were going, just give me all the details. Because I can't get the big picture until I've got the details. And one of those is called inductive learning, which is where you have loads of experience and then you build a big picture from the experience that you've had. And the other is deductive learning, where you start with the big picture and then deduce what can you do once you know the generalizations. So some people will go, what's NLP? They're people who want the big picture. And once they know NLP is neuro-linguistic programming and it's about making change in human neurology using language, they'll then say, okay, does that mean, so can I use that to help someone to lose weight? So that's taking the generalization and then applying it to a specific example from that generalization. Another person will go, okay, what are we doing? And they'll just want to do some exercises, which is where a lot of NLP training gets into the realm of, oh, we're actually doing the exercises, but I don't know what it's for. I don't know how it relates to the big picture, which I've seen a lot in trainings, especially very experiential learning. The big picture people want to know the big picture before they get into the actual doing. The doers just want to get on and do it and just tell me about how it all relates to everything else later once I know how to do it. So the two different meta programs, one's small chunk to big chunk, which is inductive. The opposite is big chunk to small chunk to examples, which is deductive. Another big distinction is some people sort for what is the same. So sometimes you see groups of young people going around Littlehampton and they all have the same baseball hats on, the same Nike trainers, the same particular brand of mobile phone, because they want to be the same as their peers or the group who are around them, so they will be sorting for sameness in that particular context. If you then have them sort compared to their parents, they'll be sorting on difference typically. So they want to do anything different from their parents, but compared to their peers, they'll be doing what's the same. And we all have things where we want to be the same and fit in, the things where we want to be different be on the edge and be different to everyone else. And it's like a balance, how you balance between those two. And the way that you hold those higher level patterns in your head will determine how you act on the other generalizations that you make in your life. So they're like very high level sorting patterns. Once you become a bit more familiar with these high level sorting patterns, it becomes a lot easier to determine which particular bit of NLP to use in order to make the change based on the meta programs that the person is demonstrating in that particular problem context or in that learning context. This is all highly generalised. We're going to get into a lot more details and specifics as we go through this evening. I'm going to do some practice exercises so you can start to notice which sorting patterns or which meta programs are people using in a specific context. And that specific context will be to persuade another member of the group to do something that you would like them to do. And for this purpose, what we're going to use is make a cup of tea. So it's something we can actually test, which is another key element, or coffee. Does everybody here like tea or coffee? Or water? We haven't got anything more exotic than that, because it's after New Year, otherwise we'll be doing cocktails. So that's what we're going to be doing this evening.